to talk to you about the medical OR that we undertake at Dstl. I am a member of the Tactical Medical Logistics team, specialising in medical logistics for the Ministry of Defence. But first, I'll talk to you a little bit about Dstl. So we are the Defence Science and Technology Laboratory, and we employ a number of analysts, scientists and engineers to provide sensitive and specialist science and technology service to the MOD and to wider government. We are responsible for the design and delivery of the Ministry of Defence's Science and Technology programme, including academic and government resources. We exploit knowledge across the wider defence and security community and understand the science and technology risks and opportunities through things like horizon scanning. We aim to provide expert advice, analysis and assurance to aid decision making and to support MOD and government to be an intelligent customer. We act as a trusted partner across MOD, government, the private sector, academia and among allies to support military cooperation, capability delivery, diplomacy and economic policy. And above all, we champion S&T skills across MOD, including managing the career of MOD analysts. We aim to be the first port of call for defence and security related science and technology within government, supporting a number of different business cases as shown on the slide here. We're not a traditional research lab. We specialise in things like threat, risk and option analysis and providing support to decision makers. We aim to come up with innovative solutions to our customers' problems, contributing to the defence of the UK. We undertake a wide range of research and analysis, employing individuals from a number of different disciplines. This slide explains the structure of Dstl, which I'll go through quickly. We're split up into 5 different divisions: defence and security analysis, platform systems, cyber and information systems, chemical, biological and radiological, and counterterrorism and security. DSA provides a single focus for military security and capability analysis, covering all frontline commands and head office. This is the division that I'm in, and the work that I do, I'll be talking to you later. So platform systems covers mission and weapon systems and their relative survivability capabilities. Cyber and information systems provides advice and analysis in the cyber domain, in addition to capabilities such as command and control, surveillance and reconnaissance. CBR is focused on protection from chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear threats. And counterterrorism and security is a source of threat information for all divisions and provides a centre for work with very quick turnaround time. So like I said, I'm in defence and security analysis, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the work that I do. So like I said before, I'm in the Tactical and Medical Logistics team, where we undertake operational research to help inform military planning decisions. We inform many customers within the Ministry of Defence, including frontline commands and organisations such as Defence Equipment and Support. I'm accountable to commanders and the Surgeon General, using OR to answer questions such as how many casualties can we expect to occur, do we have enough hospitals or hospital beds to treat those casualties, and do our armed forces have the capability and equipment to be able to achieve their goals and support medical activities successfully. This can include factors like ensuring the force has the medical staff and equipment, such as beds and ambulances, to successfully maintain the number of expected casualties. Those include what we call DMBI, so disease and non-battle injuries, as well as battle casualties. We use a number of different methods to provide answers to these questions, and I'll touch on a few of these in this presentation. So in order to approach these problems, we need data to analyse. This can be done through literature searching and all the way along to the use of historical data and obtaining data from modelling. We also use the expert advice of military and other subject matter experts. So historical data, I'm sure you appreciate, comes with varying levels of detail and quality. For example, human input can cause data to be incorrect or incomplete, and there's always the risk of using biased data. This can come from published studies, either within Dstl, wider government or non-government organisations. Specialist organisations such as Defence Statistics hold data that we can use for our OR, and this can be useful to us as we can provide the context to these statistics. We also use wargaming to generate data. So these are simulations in which theories of warfare can be tested and refined without the actual need for hostilities. This is used in all domains, so for land, sea and air, in order to identify insights, issues and mitigation measures, and is a tool used to test the credibility and robustness of a military plan. Wargaming helps us to plan for factors like how many battle casualties can be expected and the optimum organisation of a medical laydown. So this can help us to determine where we want to put our hospitals, where we want to keep our ambulances, so that patients can be treated in the quickest possible times. We can also use open source data, so we use organisations like the NHS and the World Health Organization relating to A&E admissions or things like disease rates in different countries. So when we have the data, we use a number of models and tools that can be used to conduct analysis. The three I'll cover briefly in this presentation are Artemis. This model is still in development, but it looks at the medical evacuation process. Strativac, this is a tool that is used to simulate the evacuation of patients from theatre back to the UK. And then Hermes, again, another model in development, looks at the hospital bed usage within facilities. Just to give you an idea of how all of that kind of fits together, the first thing we need to do is casualty estimation. So this is something that I've been working on for the last 18 months or so. We have a kind of a planning book that the military use to say, this is the number of casualties you're expected to obtain. And we did some analysis and we found that the current rates aren't realistic anymore. So I've been leading some work to update those. This has been based on previous data from previous operations alongside wargaming and vulnerability analysis of specific platforms. So once you've got your casualty estimates, you can put those through our modelling capability to see what your medical laydown should look like. Once you know how many casualties you've got, you can use you will be able to use Artemis when it's finished, to analyse the kind of the distance and the times that the casualty will have to travel from its point of wounding right the way through to when it's ready to be evacuated from theatre. So this looks at the time to treatment, how quickly we can get ambulances to people, how long they're having to wait to get into facilities, that kind of thing. Hermes is kind of a more focused model which looks at the bed space planning within the hospital. So Artemis kind of plans where patients are going to go, and then once they get there, you can use Hermes to look at the resources that are needed to treat those patients. So the doctors and nurses, or if they require units of blood or x-rays or any kind of medication. And then once the casualties are ready to be flown back home, we use the Apollo model, which looks at the strategic evacuation of a patient from the last point of treatment back to the UK. So this schedules aircraft, assigns staff to patients on the aircraft, and plans whether or not you've got enough capacity to take everyone home. To give you kind of a bit of real-world context, we've recently supported the Ebola crisis in Sierra Leone. So we used a previous version of Hermes, because as I said, that one's still in development, but we looked at modelling the bed occupancy for different types of patients. So we were asked to analyse the capability of a hospital that was going to be built to support the healthcare workers that were going to Sierra Leone to help support the Ebola crisis. So we weren't looking to treat the people with Ebola, we were looking to treat the people who were helping treat the people with Ebola. So we had to work out how many healthcare workers we thought there were going to be, what their disease risk was, what their non-battle injury risk was, and then from that make a decision of how big we thought a hospital needed to be to support them, and what resources they needed to take with them. And that's kind of it, really. In summary, Dstl provide science and technology research and analysis to military and wider government. We use OR techniques, including modelling and historical analysis. And we do have a graduate scheme for new starters that have a lot of training opportunities and support. I will say as well, we also have a new starters scheme, which I manage, which aims to integrate new starters into the business, give them a bit of background into the military, how we support them, because you appreciate that it can be quite a daunting environment seeing military advisors walking around, and if people really haven't had that kind of exposure before. So that's just a taste of what kind of OR you can get involved with at Dstl. There are loads and loads of opportunities that aren't medical related. We've got things in all the different divisions that I talked about earlier. All right. Thank you.